Leah from Relaxed Scalp here, and I wanted to do a video to share my tips for growing long and healthy hair. Over the past few weeks, I've been getting a lot of questions through comments and DMs, emails, asking how can I get my hair healthy? How can I grow my hair long? What are the types of products I should be using? What are the types of things I should be doing for my hair to get it to a healthier state? So I've got 10 tips that I'm going to share with you, and these are things that I have done during my healthy hair journey to get my hair to the state where it's currently at. Tip number 1 is to use sulfate-free shampoos. You might be thinking, wait a minute, Leah, you've recently said that you use a sulfate shampoo and that sulfates aren't that bad. Overall, I personally don't think that sulfates are bad if they're used in moderation. I personally use a sulfate shampoo because I have hard water in my house, and using a sulfate shampoo helps to mitigate that. I'm not against using sulfate-free shampoos either. I am not actually on either bandwagon. I can see the benefit of both, and I use both actually in my regimen and rotate between the two. Sulfate-free shampoos will just help to keep your hair more moisturized and will allow you not to strip a lot of the good oils away from your hair. So that helps keep your hair hydrated and moisturized better than when you use a sulfate shampoo. Some brands that have a lot of sulfate-free products that are good to use are Shea Moisture, Camille Rose, and By Made Beautiful. Tip number 2 is to wear your hair down less, which is kind of funny because I'm wearing my hair down right now, but I was wearing my hair up in a bun yesterday and then several other days this past week. So I have worn my hair up probably like 4 out of the 7 days of this past week. So I've covered myself there. I think wearing your hair up really helps to contribute to having healthy hair. And the reason I say that is when we wear our hair down, particularly in the wintertime when you're wearing a lot of sweaters and scarves, and even throughout the year, there are certain fabrics that your hair may catch onto. And also when your hair is brushing against your clothing, the clothing is kind of like sucking the moisture out of your hair. So you can end up at the end of the day with dried ends, and dried ends just can result in breakage and split ends. Now, when I wear my hair down all the time, my ends look pretty frayed and I have to get trims more often than not. For me, it's been almost 24 weeks since I've had a trim, and a lot of times when women go to salon, they have to get a trim every single time they go, and that doesn't help you to grow your hair long if you're having to get it trimmed off all of the time. So by wearing my hair up more, I'm not damaging my ends. I'm able to protect them and not have to trim them off as often. Tip number 3 is to deep condition, deep condition, deep condition. I can't say deep condition enough. Deep conditioning, it just helps keep your hair very hydrated, and it also brings good things into your hair. It can bring things that your hair needs, whether it's moisture or it's protein or it's both. And I found that my hair is so much better. It's so much more manageable. It looks better, it feels better, it holds up better when I deep condition. I deep condition once a week every time when I wash my hair, and sometimes when I deep condition I may also use a heating cap to really accentuate, I guess you could kind of say, or enhance the deep conditioning that I'm doing. And this is the Hot Head Deep Conditioning Cap, and all it is a microwavable cap. You stick it in the microwave for 2 minutes, and then it's nice and heated, and you put a plastic cap on your head and then stick this on top, and you just let the heat from this cap, it opens up the hair cuticles. So then that way the deep conditioner can penetrate even more and just add more of its goodness to your hair. Tip number 4 is to stay away from heating tools. So before I started my hair journey, I was blow drying my hair on hot heat every week after I washed it, and then I would flat iron my hair that day after I washed it and blow dried it, and then I would flat iron my hair every single day up until my next wash, and then I would repeat the cycle over and over again. It was overkill. I was frying my hair. And also to top it off, I wasn't always using a heat protectant every time I was blow drying and using the flat iron. Like, I'm surprised I still had hair on my head. It was ridiculous what I was doing with my hair. I do blow dry my hair once a week. I use medium heat. I don't use hot heat like I had been before, and I'm using a heat protectant, which is this thing right here from Jane Carter. It's a revitalizing leave-in conditioner. I'm using this because it's not only a leave-in conditioner, it's a detangler and also a heat protectant. So I use that before I blow dry my hair, and then that's it. Like, I haven't had a flat iron touch my hair in, I can't even remember the last time I used a flat iron. When you use styling tools like blow dryers and curling irons and flat irons, you're applying heat directly to your hair. And so that's where a lot of the damage comes, and it dries out your hair, it fries your hair, and then all that leads to breakage and split ends, which can then lead you to having to get a haircut that you never planned for. Staying away from heat styling tools, whether it's completely or just minimizing the amount that you use, you will definitely see a difference in your hair. I know I did. So tip number 5 is to keep your hair moisturized. And having moisturized hair is very important because when your hair is dry, it's so much more prone to breakage and split ends and also tangling. And all of that is very damaging to your hair. It can give you a setback in your hair journey. So the leave-in conditioner that I'm using right now is from Can2. It's their Argan Oil Leave-In Conditioning Cream, and I really like it because it's nice and thick and it adds a lot of moisture to my hair. And when I moisturize, I also seal with a natural oil, and right now I'm using sunflower oil just because of the lighter texture of it. And also that it adds a lot of shine to my hair. I actually have a video showing you how I moisturize and seal my hair that you can check out using the link up above or the link in the description box below. Tip number 6 is to drink water. I've been talking a lot about things that can hydrate or moisturize your hair from the outside, but you also need to be hydrating from the inside. And the best way I've found to do that is by making sure that your whole body is hydrated by drinking a lot of water. When I don't drink water, I find that my scalp starts to dry out and it also gets really itchy and flaky. So when you have a scalp that is dry, when you have a scalp that is flaking, it's itching and you're scratching, then all you're doing is causing more damage to your hair that's already on your head, and you're not allowing healthy hair to grow from your scalp. A healthy scalp equals healthy hair. Tip number 7 is to keep your hands out of your hair. Yes, your hands that you use to do your hair can also cause some damage to your hair. Touching your hair all the time, all it does is it puts unwanted, dirty, nasty particles on your hair. It can even break your hair. It can dry out your hair. It's just not good for you to be touching your hair all the time. I tend to have this issue of touching my hair is when I wear it down. So a lot of times, particularly when I'm at work throughout the day, I might find that I'm like pushing my hair back a lot. I might be taking my hair and putting it in a ponytail and holding it back there for a few minutes to get out of my face if I'm bending down over my computer. I might even be twisting my hair up every so often. It's just not good because all I'm doing is more harm to my hair than good. To help mitigate this, I tend to then just say, okay, I'm going to put my hair up in a ponytail, I'm going to put it up in a bun so that it's out of my face and I don't have any reason to touch it. Tip number 8 is to clean your hair and to clean your hair correctly. Now, cleaning your hair, you can do it one of two ways. You can use a shampoo, and like I mentioned earlier, using a sulfate-free shampoo is probably a good place to start, particularly if your hair is dry. And the other way is to co-wash, which is using a cleansing conditioner, which is definitely a even gentler way of cleaning your hair. Now, when you're cleaning your hair, you want to make sure you're doing it the right way, the way that isn't going to cause any unnecessary damage. And that way is very different than probably what you remember from hair commercials when you were growing up, which is, you know, you got all the suds and they pile their hair on top of their head and they're just massaging the shampoo, and that's not good at all. Putting your hair on top of your head, piling it up there, all it's going to do is just create tangles. And then you're going to have to untangle your hair. And if you're trying to untangle wet hair, that can cause some serious damage if you're not doing it gently and you're not taking your time with it, because you can't rush. Wet hair is weak hair, so you don't want to do a lot of manipulation to your hair when it's wet. And just by doing all of that piling up on your head, that's kind of what you're doing. And then you're also going to need to do even more manipulation afterwards when you're trying to detangle your hair from the tangles that you just created. I found that two of the best ways for me to wash my hair all start with me applying the product, whether it's the co-wash or the shampoo, directly to my scalp, massaging it into my scalp there without like pulling or piling my hair up at all, just letting my hair lie like it normally does, and then massaging the shampoo or the co-wash into my scalp. And then I either, when I'm rinsing, just let the water push the suds or the shampoo or cleansing conditioner down my strands, which then helps clean them. Or I may myself take my hands and pull it down, but I'm not actually like cleaning it and agitating it and all that kind of stuff, because that's just not good for your hair. Tip 9 is to keep your hair detangled. It's very important that you keep your hair in a detangled state, because tangled hair just means that you're going to end up with breakage, and you might even sometimes need to cut out tangles if they get too tight. I tend to detangle at least a couple times a week, particularly when I'm deep in a relaxer stretch, because the deeper I am in the stretch and the more new growth that I have, the more likely that new growth is to tangle, and even my relaxed hair will tangle around each other, because there are two textures that I'm dealing with in my head. I also make sure to detangle right before I shampoo, because it's just so much easier to shampoo and deal with your hair when it's wet, when it's already detangled. Now, tip number 10 is to use products that are for your hair. And that means that you actually need to know your hair. You need to know if your hair is dry or tends to be oily, if you have high porosity, low porosity hair, if you have thick hair, thin hair, fine hair, dense hair, like whatever. You need to know what your hair type is. What are the different components that make up your hair? And then that will help you choose what products you need to use. Those are my 10 tips for growing healthy hair. I hope you enjoyed this video and was able to take away something that will be useful for you in your own hair journey. If so, please like and please share this video. Make sure to also check out additional videos that I have on the Relaxed Scalp Beauty channel. And if you're not a subscriber, subscribe to the channel. Then that way you'll know when new videos are posted. Thanks for watching.